Hello to all my villains out there. I'm Duuz-Diz-Din coming at you with another chapter review of My Hero Academia. This time it's chapter 231 titled Path. And let's cut a path right through this chapter, as Gigantomachia has been awakened by the good doctor, and he does just that. He cuts a straight path towards Tomura Shigaraki, ready to find the master successor. Now, we also end up cutting over to Osaka, where we see the hero Hawks. Hawks has actually been tasked with meeting Dabi for a particular kind of drop-off to show his loyalty to the League of Villains. Dabi wants some proof that he is actually on the up and up about joining them, about how he feels about the Hero Society. And Hawks is fully feels that Dabi won't cut him off like he has been threatening to do because of the fact that Dabi doesn't want to lose such a good figure in terms of, helping him out. And you a figure to use, a good pawn basically. And ultimately Dabi kind of decides that they don't want to have Hawks this time just go after the number one hero. No, we want to go after the number 3 hero. And then we pick up with Hawks visiting Best Genius of all people, who has been, for the most part, healing ever since the incident with All for One and all the heroes. That whole incident where Bakugo was kidnapped and Best Genius saved multiple heroes at the cost of his own self. And we come to find out he actually ended up losing a lung in the process. I don't know how he intends to really get back out there with such a limited capability, because that's very debilitating. Yeah, you can survive without a lung, but I'm not sure how well you can truly function, especially in high stress situations. I would think that you would have, limited breathing capabilities, and I can't imagine doctors saying you should tax yourself after such an ordeal such as this. But Genis is all too ready to get back into the field after he manages to recover. And then Hawks gives a very wry smile, and he says, "Oh, you want to get back out there, huh? Well, that's a pity." And he pulls out one of his wing swords. And then next thing you know, we cut to Hawks holding this massive bag. What do you have in the bag, Hawks? What did you do? Best Genius has gone missing. His sidekicks don't know where he is. Hawks. How far is too far? And could it be possible that Hawks goes down a bad path, all things considered? I can imagine, but even still, this story arc has been very surprising up until now. So we'll just have to keep reading to find out. We then cut back over to Dabi clashing with Gaten, during the whole attack on the Liberation Army city. And they're really going at it. It's clear that Dabi is losing the advantage he had with his intense flames. Meanwhile, Spinner starts to wonder about Shigaraki and whether or not he's still, able to keep going throughout the whole situation as they continue to be attacked. And, ultimately Tomura Shigaraki is still just kind of pissed. He feels very annoyed that there's just all these people who keep on attacking and all this chaos all around him. but he's determined to get to that tower. He's determined to face down Redestro at a certain point. But as he almost gets struck by one of the enemy's attacks, Twice manages to push him and Spinner out of the way, much to Tomura Shigaraki's surprise. And Twice, he's all too ready to be useful for Tomura Shigaraki. And as the various Liberation Front, the Liberation Army members come charging in ready to take down the Twice clones, Tomura Shigaraki says, "Hey, I'm pretty impressed by this Twice. Cut us a path straight to that tower. That's where Giran has to have been held. We need to keep some fodder alive for Gigantomachia, but if we kill the boss, that's the only way I'll be satisfied after all of this." And so Twice does just that. He just keeps multiplying, and those multiple Twice end up cutting a path straight to the tower, much to the surprise of Spinner, because he's just like, man, it kind of looks like Twice can handle this all on his own. And for Tomura, he's just like, that's just because he really cares that much about Giran. And then Tomura says something very unvillain-like, that he will never forgive the Liberation Army for toying with people's hearts like this, in reference to the fact that the Liberation Army has basically messed with all these people, caused a cult-like situation of obsession, and the way these people act is just to the point of just basically suicide. They've been set on these suicide missions to take down the League of Villains, and they're dying by the dozens. However, as the various members continue to be defeated, the one politician, Koku Hanabata, comes out once again on his little campaigning van and starts speaking to the people, to show their strength, that it's unacceptable for the League of Villains to do what they please for this long, that this is the people's time to gather themselves together and lead each other into a brand new future, a world where everyone's super, no one will be. A place with no more heroes, because everyone is free to use their powers as they see fit. You put a gun in everyone's hand and everyone should be protected, right? Oof, dangerous ideas, dangerous ideas. And so suddenly with this, the people become invigorated, powered up, and Spinner notices this. Suddenly the people are once again just empowered to go on the attack, and they start taking down Twice clones by the dozens. And Spinner notices that, hey, Hanabata seems to have this power. And if you've been reading One Piece, it's very similar to the ability of Bello Betty, who has been introduced as, of all things, a part of the Revolutionary Army, who has this power to amp people up, to give power to the people, basically. She's basically kind of like a supporting character in an RPG, able to boost people's stats. And that seems to be what Hanabata's quirk is, to give power to the people. Yes, invigorate them and give them the energy they need to go on the offensive. And so Spinner sees this and he notices this, and this is his time. Spinner has bestowed upon him the task of taking down this great threat, who should help just curb the morale and the boosts in energy that these Liberation Army members have been getting. On the other side, one of the Twice clones has managed to get to Redestro, and he starts laying into him, just burn after burn about his hairline. It's just like, okay, you must be the asshole founder who destroyed our home. Well, you know what? Gotta say, that hairline, that ain't a forehead. That's a five. That's a six head. That's like a 10 head, man. What the hell? You could project movies off that thing, and like the perspective that Horikoshi gives to this is just like, damn, dude, what's up with your forehead? And Redestro is having none of this because, well, Mayoshita, his assistant that we saw during his introduction, would make fun of his forehead. And he's just like, you know what? I kind of feel like Mayoshita had a better jokes than this, which is just like, what? But an interesting situation because it alludes to the fact that he's basically gonna destroy twice, just the way he killed Mayoshita, basically. And I'm wondering what Redestro's actual abilities are. Does he just gain a boost of power? Is that what it is? He's just, because he, killed Mayoshita just by crushing him in his arms and all that good stuff. So I'm thinking maybe that's what it is, or it's something deeper than that. I'm not quite sure, honestly. But honestly, the Liberation Army, they're fodder for the most part. They are free XP for the League of Villains to gain and help up their game for the most part. And it's unfortunate to see them fall one after the other, as I would honestly kind of love to see them be reoccurring opponents. But the League of Villains are villains, and with your villains, they don't have to take prisoners. That's the thing. That's what separates the heroes from the villains, and hell, the villains from the vigilante. Because if you read, illegals, My Hero Academia illegals, that you know how the vigilantes operate as well. But with these villains, they're stone cold killers, man. They're out for that blood, and they're out for that revenge, and it seems to be coming to them in spades. But what do you think will happen in the next chapter? Will Twice manage to take down Redestro? Will Tomoro Shigaraki be the one to have a showdown with the Redestro ultimately? Where did Skeptic go, and what is he up to get some revenge on Twice for causing him a bit of failure? And not to mention, what about Hanabata? Where is he going to come into play? Will Spinner actually manage to take him down? Or, I'm kind of thinking that Spinner might not make it through this. Something tells me that Spinner might not make it through this situation. And I'm starting to wonder, will a showdown with Hanabata be the one that truly takes him down? Because Spinner's the most unaccomplished member of the League of Villains up to this point. He doesn't really seem to have a specialty quirk, honestly. He just uses the big knife sword he has. Are we gonna see something more from Spinner? Because Spinner hasn't had any kind of power up and advancement in his abilities, but then again, neither has Mr. Compress, so who knows what might happen on that front. Just gotta have to wait and see. But tell me your theories and thoughts in the comment section below. If you liked this video, leave me a like. If you didn't, feel free to leave me a dislike and tell me what I did wrong in the comment section below, so I might better myself for future videos. And subscribe and hit the bell icon, that way you never miss out on another My Hero Academia chapter review. And if you want to find me on social media, just Google Duuz-Diz-Din. I am everywhere, for better or for worse. And until the next video, just remember that some heroes will do anything to cut a path towards victory. And so will some villains. It all depends on what side of the fence you ultimately end up being on. Until next time, I'm Duuz-Diz-Din, and I'm going to bed. Bye-bye.